Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you're having a fantastic day. As always, shout out to the 19. So, have you ever felt like you might be the only sane person left on the planet? You look around, you see the things people are doing, the things people are saying, what's happening around the world, and you think, It's over. We've lost it. There are no sane people left. It is bizarro world." This article that we're going to discuss made me feel exactly that. And this is even next level for what we've witnessed with the WNBA this year. I mean, I have to laugh because otherwise I think I would just break down and lose it and give up because yeah, we're past the tipping point. We're through the looking glass, however you want to put it. But this is absolutely some crazy, crazy stuff. Check this out. Caitlin Clark won't get her own Nike shoe deal because of Asia Wilson. Now, I think that's a little deceptive because Clark is going to have her shoe deal. I think we know that. I think they're being a little extreme, and what they mean is, which is still crazy, that it's going to be delayed. You're not going to see it for a while because they're going to focus on Asia Wilson first. As the biggest rookie sensation in WNBA history. No, actually, as the biggest sensation in WNBA history. And I would go so far as to say the only sensation in WNBA history, if you really want to break down the numbers in the league. It would be reasonable to assume that Nike would be rushing to get Caitlin Clark her own signature shoe deal. However, according to insider Ethan Strauss, Nike may be intentionally holding off on a deal with Clark so they can take care of someone else first. Now, point out just a little irk for me. This should have been changed. Now, I realize that headlines don't get written by the article writer. Maybe sometimes, but most of the time that's not written by an editor. So they didn't know that Asia Wilson's name would be in the headline. However, the editor then should have changed this. We already know it's Asia Wilson. There's no reveal. You said it in the headline. Come on. So here's where it starts getting a little crazy. The refusal to make money off Clark is not incidental to continued issues within that massive company. Based on conversations with people in the know, it indeed has something to do with WNBA MVP and Nike athlete Asia Wilson. But beyond Wilson, it's about a culture at the company that's more concerned with quelling noise rather than making it, as Nike once used to. This now it's getting bizarre. I want you to think about that. They're going with Asia Wilson because they're more concerned with quelling noise. Caitlin Clark having a signature shoe is going to be the controversial thing as we get into here before I dive in with my more thoughts on this. As it says here, Nike prefers a very particular kind of athlete, typically one who can stay out of trouble, who can maintain their status as a star in their sport, and who can avoid stepping on the toes of their predecessors. Caitlin Clark is not there yet. And it's why Nike is keeping their stock in Asia Wilson, the reigning WNBA MVP. This is insane. This is gaslighting at an epic level, folks. They just keep upping and they're just going to the next extreme and the next extreme and the next extreme to get you to just throw up your hands and say, enough, I give up. I can't take the insanity anymore. Asia Wilson is the safe choice. Yes, the Asia Wilson who lied about having a shoe deal in the first place at the same time that she was saying Caitlin Clark's popularity was because of her inability to tan well, right? Remember that A'ja Wilson is an entitled, childish, spoiled little brat, not an adult, who makes everything about her skin so she can get things she does not deserve. She's entitled, she complains, she lies, she plays victim all of the time. She did it right away with the comment about Caitlin Clark's popularity and the lying about the shoe deal. You could see it in her body language and behavior when in the interviews I've showed in the past with Becky Hammon, whether she's, under that blanket and just looking down and not making eye contact with anybody, where she's standing next to the coach who's deflecting and lying about the treatment of Caitlin Clark, and she's laughing and giggling like a spoiled little middle schooler. But she's the safe one. And by the way, this particular athlete that they want who can stay out of trouble and is not controversial, like Colin Kaepernick. And look, I'm not even. That's a whole nother issue. I'm not even getting into this whichever side you might be on in that issue. But everyone, whether they believe Colin Kaepernick got screwed or they can't stand Colin Kaepernick, everyone agrees that he's controversial. And Nike giving him what, 70 or 80 million dollars after he was no longer in the NFL is not exactly going along with what this article is saying right now about Nike. That is absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Talk now, of course, it plays up Wilson's stats and that she's been pretty chill and humble through it all, taking it all in stride, keeping her head down and acting like a consummate professional. I just explained how she's not. Again, she makes everything about her being a victim and not getting things she believes she's entitled to. There's nothing humble or chill about A'ja Wilson. Asia's already a Nike athlete, but it's clear that she needs some more attention from the company. She's yet to have her own signature shoe, and Wilson has rarely been featured on ads at any public event. There's a reason for that. There is a very good reason for that. When companies sign endorsement deals, it's because they believe that that endorsement is going to result in more profit than the money they're paying out in the endorsement. That means that athlete needs to be able to sell products. They need to be able to move products. That is it. It is no more complicated than that. Michael Jordan was what he was because he could do exactly that. It started out with his shoe, with the Air Jordan, which everybody went absolutely insane over. And that grew into what a $1 billion merch company on its own, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe it became $1 billion company on its own. That is why Jordan got what he got. Peyton Manning, it's the reason he gets what he gets, even after retirement. It's why you're seeing Jason Kelce everywhere now. Same thing. It is that simple. That's why Wilson hasn't gotten these things, because no one buys it. Look, and then it goes into, of course, now we're going to rip Caitlin Clark here, because we're going to say comparatively, Caitlin Clark is making all kinds of noise right now, and many don't think it's entirely justified. Let me ask this fool of a so-called author, writer, reporter, whatever lying title that they have that's nonsense. What kind of noise is Caitlin Clark making? Says Caitlin Clark, so we're talking about the person. What kind of noise is Caitlin making right now that many don't think is entirely justified? By the way, who cares what they think? Because there's an agenda and a narrative there, and none of what they say has anything to do with the reality of what Caitlin Clark does. But specifically, I don't see any specifics here. I don't see receipts. What is the noise that Caitlin Clark is making? Yes, she was on fire rookie year of her campaign. Absolutely. Yes, her performance alone attracted countless new eyes to the WNBA. You got that. But here we go. But amid her impressive first-year performance, some fans are ready to crown Caitlin as the WNBA's version of Wilt Chamberlain. I've never heard one fan say that. Not one. Not one fan has said that. In the eyes of many, her record-breaking rookie year was enough to make her the new face of women's basketball, and the league must take action now if they want to maximize her impact. In the eyes, actually has nothing to do with a record-breaking rookie year. It has to do with her popularity and her ability to sell products. That is all it's about. That is all it's about. In the eyes of to many, the WNBA and many of its players have it out for Caitlin and want to see her fail. But in the eyes of the league, the athletes, and apparently Nike themselves, she hasn't yet earned the respect and recognition so many of her fans are dying for her to receive. Um, Not really. Like I really couldn't care less what awful people think of Caitlin Clark as a basketball player. I really it doesn't matter to me. It certainly doesn't matter to Caitlin Clark. As I'd like to see her on the court be officiated according to the rules of the game, just like every other player, instead of the nonsense that we see with the cheap shots and the clutching and grabbing and the hitting and the stuff that's never called. And then we turn around and call stuff on Caitlin. We can see Diana Taurasi slapping the the backboard support and not get a technical, but when Caitlin does it, she gets a technical and on and on. And by the way, in Nike themselves, again, it does not and should not matter to Nike whether Caitlin or Clark has earned the respect of her peers or not. That has zero to do with why athletes get endorsements. This article is gibberish, absolutely gibberish. Let me make it clear. I hate that phrase, let me be clear. Every time I hear that, I like cringe because I know the person's going to say something that's not clear. But anyway, there's nothing controversial about Caitlin Clark. Now, y'all may hate her and be jealous and all that, and you may spin it into her fans being awful and say but there's nothing controversial about Caitlin Clark. She goes out, she plays basketball, she plays it well, she handles herself professionally and like an adult in every press conference, no matter the stupidity of the question, unlike 99% of the WNBA. She never says a bad word about anyone. She treats her fans extremely well and appreciates their support. She signs autographs, and I know other players do, but we're talking about Clark right now because she signs a lot of autographs. She's always looking for little kids because she wants to be that role model and she wants to be able to give back to them and their support. So there's nothing at all controversial about Caitlin Clark herself. What makes it seem like there is because of the ongoing campaign, the petty jealousy, the insecurity, the hatred, the skin tanning hatred, all coming from the WNBA itself, top to bottom, ex-players included, as well as their sycophants in the sports media, your Elle Duncans and your Andrea Carters and your Monica McNutts and so on and so forth. You know, your Cheryl Swoops and on and on. Endorsement deals are about selling products, period. A'ja Wilson does not sell products. Caitlin Clark sells products. Everything Caitlin Clark offers sells. And when there's a limited quantity, it sells out and it sells out quickly. All-star jersey, Wilson basketball. We could go right to hell, tickets to games. Again, look at the playoff ticket prices. What was the first cheapest ticket for the first game of the first round for Caitlin Clark? Cost more than last year's all finals game combined. Oh, and by the way, that $133 to get that cheapest ticket for the first game to see Caitlin Clark. I want to say sorry, I don't have it. I wrote a note less than 30, but I believe it was 28 or $23 was the price for the cheapest ticket for the first Las Vegas Aces game. So this A'ja Wilson, who they think should get this shoe, what is that? four to five times difference in prices. No one gave a crap. No one wants to see Asia Wilson. They want to see Caitlin Clark. They buy what Caitlin Clark offers. Hell, folks, Kate Martin, a second round rookie who doesn't play, sells more Las Vegas Aces jerseys than the Asia Wilson. What are we talking about here? This is nonsense. More nonsense. And yes, I know it gets tiresome at times, but I am going to keep calling it out because it's ridiculous and it needs to be pushed back upon. This article is ridiculous. This excuse we're giving to Nike. Nike, by the way, full disclosure, I don't like Nike as a company. I have never, going back to probably, I don't know, sixth, seventh grade, I made that decision. Never liked Nike. I think they offer an inferior product. I think they try and throw money at everything to take over sports. You know, they got into golf because of Tiger Woods. Then when Tiger Woods basically had his career was over, they got out of it. Um, in terms of equipment, I should say. You know, we all know what kind of labor makes Nike products. We all know what kind of labor makes Nike products. So you shouldn't be supporting the company anyway, but I'm not I'm not telling anyone how to spend their money. I'm not the one who's going to call boycott, but I'm just saying me personally, just so you know, in discussing this, not a fan of Nike. Um, I probably just got my channel canceled. Oh man, I take it back, Nike. I love you. But I'm gonna leave it there. I mean, this is so beyond absurd. If an Asia Wilson signature shoe comes out before Caitlin Clark's, it's gonna sell about 27 pair. Although, you know what? There's probably a huge Asia Wilson supporter out there who's like a worth like $50 million, and they'll buy like 10,000 pair to make it look like they're selling. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, am I the only sane person besides you, or are you all like, no, this is completely makes sense? Nike is exactly what Nike should do. Caitlin Clark's so controversial. Asia Wilson's got to be the face. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for checking out this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Fewer than 250 away from 10,000. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you later.